thought about not being able to go to school until I couldn't.
It's much easier when you have somebody talking to you and explaining to you. When you take that away, you don't have that security blanket.
Since the pandemic, I have a newfound appreciation for being with my classmates in a classroom being taught by a teacher. If I didn't have all those teachers along the way, I might not like school as much as I do right now, and I might not have the success I did. So I work with magical people, and we teach incredible kids every single day. And to feed into those kids and show them that they can learn anything they want to learn. They can be anything they want to be. Anything they want to do.
They're the best teachers I've ever had. I'm so glad that I came to this school.
Teaching is one of the most impactful careers in the whole wide world.
Teachers, we love our job. This is our calling, honestly. We're truly nothing without our students.
Teachers provide a very conducive environment to learning this material. I mean, not all of it is easy, right?
The public truly realized how much we invest in ourselves into our career field. We willingly sacrifice so much in our personal lives, but truly so that we get that positive impact in our students.
I owe my success to my parents and my teachers. They have made me to the person I am today.
Teachers are difference makers.
And for preparing us, difference makers too.
We are the future.
The dreamers.
And the doers.
Thank you, Miss Martin.
Thanks for the patience. Thank you, Ms. Pierce.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. You make me feel happy.
Thank you, Miss Johnston.
Thank you, Miss Keep and Miss Lineski.
Thank you so much for helping me.
To the April 21st meeting of the Bossier Parish School Board. We're going to start with item 1.01, the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to have Mr. Bamberg say the prayer and Mr. Wiggins say the pledge. But first, Superintendent, do we have any prayer requests?
We do. Homeless migrant liaison Arsenio Anthony continues to go through cancer treatment. T.L. Rhodes teacher Melissa Kinney also is in the middle of cancer treatment, along with retirement specialist Mary Denman. Also, Clay Moak, husband of Platt teacher Tricia Moak, was involved in an explosion Tuesday at Barksdale Air Force Base. Family asked for continued prayers for him and his family, prayers for healing, and to keep the infection away. They badly burned. Please continue to keep these people in your prayers.
Mr. Bamberg.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just come to you tonight, Lord, and just lift up Mr. Anthony and Miss McKinney and Miss Denman, Lord, as they just battle with cancer, Lord, and we just know that you're the great physician and the great healer, Lord, and we just pray for a healing in their life, Lord. We want to lift up a special prayer tonight for the Mook family, Lord. What a special family that is. She's a teacher here in our school system, and Lord, we just want this community to come out and love her, and that's happening right now, Lord, and we thank you for that. Pray that you would just be with the doctors as they go through the treatment of his burns, Lord, and that you just continue to have your hand around that family and bring them peace and love during this time of their life, Lord. Be with this board as we make the decisions that affect this great parish, Lord, and your precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
02, approval of the minutes of the regular session of the board for April 7th, 2022.
So vote.
Motion by Mr. Wiggins and a second by Ms. Darby. Please cast your vote. Item passes unanimously. Item 1.03, approval of the agenda for the regular session of the board for April 21st, 2022.
Motion to.
Motion by Mr. Slack. Second by Mr. Bullard. Please Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Item 2.01, recognition, Bossier Parish School Board scholarships recipients, presented by Dwayne Dean, Scholarship Committee Chairperson. Mr. Dean?
I'm going to take the podium.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Downey, if you want to come down here to serve. The Bossier Parish School Board gratefully acknowledges the following donors for our 2022 Board Scholarship Fund. Risk Pros Incorporated, Mr. Doug Rogers, if you would stand. We appreciate you. Citizens National Bank, Mr. Smith. Nixon Engineering Solutions, I don't know, it's some, okay, SGB Architects, Mr. Babineau, I saw you earlier. WG Yates and Sons, Sutton BB Basin Architects, and Kevin Bryan Architects. Thank you all very much for helping make this possible. At this time, I have the 2022 scholarship recipients. First one is Kennedy Stratton, Benton High School, $2,000 scholarship. Thank you. Victoria Willis, Benton High School, $2,000 scholarship. Preston Davis, Parkway High School, $1,000 scholarship. Emma Pittman, Airline High School, $1,000 scholarship. And Emma is not present tonight. Isabella Murphy, Benton High School, $500 scholarship. That concludes ours. Now I would like to introduce Ms. Willie Blackshire, who has some scholarships to give. Thank you all very much.
To Superintendent Downey, to President of the Board, Mr. Bass, all other board members, to our parents, to our recipients tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to represent the CMAS Board of Directors. Many people probably would ask, what is the meaning of CMAS? It's the Clotilde Monroe Annual Student Scholarship. Mrs. Monroe was a citizen of Bossier. She also was a writer, author of a book, and so I would be remiss if we didn't give our recipients a little information on her. She was a very caring lady. She was a loving lady, and she wanted to share the wealth with the students in Bossier Parish. The criteria for this scholarship is you must be a graduating senior from Bossier schools. Secondly, you must have 3.0 grade point average and no less than a 2.7, and you must be a full-time student. So we're here tonight to give 3 impressive students from the Bossier Parish School System a total of $12,000. And so we want to gladly recognize them. There are some significant things that I think was in their resume that we would like to share with you. Our first recipient would be Shing Zhang. Shing, will you come forward, please? From China at the age of 7, her teacher said she could not speak any English and she did not know any English at the time. She was very smart and she caught on. She is a student from Parkway High School. She has been on the honor rolls for 4 years. She graduated with a weighted GPA of 4.21, and she made 1,400 out of 1,600 on the SAT test. Impressive. And I read you outscored Bill Gates. He made 1,590. She will be attending the University of Virginia and pursuing a degree in her American dream to become an architect. So we welcome you tonight and we thank you. The only thing that we ask of you is to come back and share with us and pass an act of kindness to someone else. Mr. Downing, will you come down also? President Bass, will you come down also? As instructed, yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. We also have another board member here tonight, Mrs. Cook, so y'all want to arrange that so you can take a picture?
Ms. Blackshire, will you get in here with us? I mean, come on. Thank you.
I didn't think anybody would ask.
Neither did we.
Thank you, darling. Okay, let's give her a congratulations. Next recipient is Sarah Grace Razor. Okay, Sarah is a student from Airline High School. She is a member of the Beta Club. She's also was president, no, she was the senator of the student council, and she represented her class. Also, she is a 4.1 grade point average, a student with 4.1. She wants to be a salesperson, entrepreneur. So she not only has done well in sales, she's had a lot of jobs, and she plans on attending the University of Arkansas, where she will get her degree in entrepreneurship. So we want to welcome you tonight, and we want to wish you well also.
Thank you.
Entrepreneurship, love it.
Thank you.
Okay. The instructions are in the envelope as to how you would get it's $1,000 per year, a total of $4,000. Our next recipient holds high honors also. He is a student at Bossier High School, and he is a member of the National Honor Society with a GPA of 4.1, and he made 30 out of 36 on the ACT score. He was also chosen as the Bossier Parish 21-22 Student of the Year. His career goal is to attend Massachusetts Institute of Technology and receive a master's degree in computer science and work as a software engineer in research and development. And that is Jaden Toussaint. Will you please come up?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
We want to wish all of our students well tonight, and those students who would like to put in for the scholarship next year, please check with your counselor, and I'm going to leave just a nugget of knowledge from Ms. Monroe's book, Overcoming the Demons. She said, young people, no matter how high you soar in the pursuit of your career, you may sit among kings and queens, but never lose your humbleness. Always remember, people matter, not position. So we want to wish you well tonight. Thank you.
$1,000, that's tremendous. Thank you so much, Ms. Blackshire. And thank you so much, Mr. Dean. Awesome. Thank you so much. Item 2.02, recognition, BPS Good News, presented by Sonia Bales, Public Relations Liaison. Ms.
Good
Bales.
evening, President Bass, Superintendent Downey, to all of our school board members and everyone here in attendance tonight. We are officially heading into the stretch, and that means state championships, and I'm very proud to say that we have winners to celebrate tonight. Let's start, first of all, with our state wrestling champions, Christian Johnson and Ernie Perry. Would you please come forward? Here is a junior at Bossier High School. Ernie is a junior at Airline High School, and what a year they have had on the mat. Let's first of all talk about Christian. Under the tutelage of Bossier High wrestling coach Jacob Moak, Christian received the hard-earned title of state champion for Division III in the 195-pound weight class. Let's give him a big round of applause for that. And that is not the only accolade. He is a three-time all-star wrestler who placed 6th during his freshman year, 4th place during his sophomore year, and now state champion his 11th grade year. So next year, another state championship, senior year, right? Awesome. In addition to excelling on the wrestling mat, Christian is also a standout football player for the Bearcats, where he was an all-district honorable mention as a defensive lineman his sophomore year, and he was named first team all-district as a linebacker this season. Christian Johnson, everybody. Opponents for several years now, and he reigns as the 2022 LHSAA State Wrestling Champ in the Division I 120-pound weight class. Let's give him a round of applause. A state champion is nothing new for Ernie, quite honestly. That's because this is his 3rd state title. Cox, Ernie plans to make Louisiana history next year as being the first wrestler to win 4 state championships in 4 different weight classes, and we have no doubt that you are going to pin that win for sure. Ernie is not only a leader on the wrestling team, where he has been the team captain for the past 3 years, but also in the classroom, he carries a 4.1 GPA. Recently, both of these outstanding athletes received proclamations from the Bossier City Council for their state titles. And on behalf of Bossier Schools, as well as sponsor Caldwell Banker Gosley, we are proud to award both of them these Award of Excellence medallions for their accomplishments. We are so very proud of you and representing Bossier Schools. Congratulations. Probably already have. Let's give them another big round of applause. And we'll see you here with your next state championship win, finishing out your senior year. Bossier Parish School for Technology and Innovative Learning has yet another reason, actually make that 40 reasons to be proud, after students had a phenomenal showing at the recent State Skills USA competition that was held earlier this month at Bipstill and also in Caddo Parish. State Skills USA gives students from across the state the chance to compete against their peers by demonstrating their knowledge and their skills in various areas. The goal of this national partnership of students, teachers, and industry representatives is to ensure that the United States has a skilled workforce. And BPSB students brought home 40 medals altogether, 18 gold, 12 silver, and 10 bronze. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a record for the number of gold medals won by BPSB. Makes Principal Amy Washington very proud, as well as State Skills USA sponsor Don Young. Tonight we want to recognize those that brought home the gold with our own Medal of Merit, the Award of Excellence Medal, sponsored again by our partners Caldwell Banker Gosley. So students, if you will please come forward as I call your name. I know that most of them were not able to be here this evening, but we do still want to recognize them. We begin with Soraya Morris, who competed in customer service. We also have Cody Perala in EMT. I believe Cody is here tonight. Come on up, Cody. Sporting his gold medal there too, so we're going to add a medal to that. Congratulations to you for winning the gold, bringing the gold home. Let's take your picture there. Why don't you stay up here with me and we'll get everybody else up here too. Mason Wallace, also competing in EMT. Congratulations to you. We're going to have a lot of medals clanking up here in just a minute. Cameron Westerfield, Information Technology Services. Also, William Lockhart, who medaled in welding. Come on up, William. Congratulations. Oh, let's take your picture real quick, too. Then we'll take a group shot. We also want to congratulate Jalen Finner, who medaled in first aid CPR. Is here tonight. This is definitely his night. Jaden Toussaint in computer programming. That's why he's going to MIT. Congratulations. I think she's going to take your picture. Ricky Lara, television production. We also have Jackson Aldridge in television production, and Jennifer Ontiveros in early childhood education. And hopefully you're going to come back and work for Bossier Schools, right? Also, congratulations to Sage Barker in masonry. Congratulations, Sage. And Caden Wilson, Power Equipment Technology. With us, Aubrey-Ann Dupree in culinary. And Nathan Fielder in collision repair. Congratulations also to Amelia Smiley for medical terminology. And Jacob Rocketry in carpentry. Not here? Frederick, who medaled in the interview contest. Last but not least, congratulations to Anaya Ball, who was elected as state officer for 22-23. So we will be represented well. Congratulations. These students, they are going to be showing their competitive sides one more time because they are gold medalists. They are advancing to Skills USA Nationals in June. That's going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia. So fingers crossed for them, but we know that they are going to be able to rock it because they have gotten their education at BIP still. So congratulations to them. Best of luck bringing home more gold. Congratulations. You know, when it comes to our students and employees, safety is our number one priority, and we don't just say that. We mean it, and we show it. The day that school let out for Easter break at Central Park Elementary, ELL teacher Jenny Gillette was in afternoon car line when she got a disturbing phone call from one of her fifth graders, Victor Ortega, who was walking home from school with Stephen Lara. He said fourth grader Amaya Fisher had passed out on Princeton Avenue and someone had called 911. Librarian Lydia Moak overheard Ms. Gillette's conversation. She immediately radioed Principal Vicki Younger and Assistant Principal Shauna Pearley, who took off running in that direction of the neighborhood. In the meantime, Bailey Garner and Kelly Wood, who work in the office, began trying to contact Amaya's mom, and they alerted Dr. Younger that the child had an asthma health care plan on file with the system. Fast forward, and Amaya's mom was able to reach her daughter in time. At the scene, 911 responded, and Amaya is okay and here with us today. We later learned that Stephen Lara's sister Maria, who attends Bossier High School, had told someone to call 911, and Victor began checking Amaya's pulse and her breathing. And he says that he learned to do that from watching a YouTube video. He thought to call Mrs. Gillette because he had her phone number, and he knew that an adult at school would be able to get help, and he was so right. These students were quick to act, and you got to think this all happened in the matter of minutes, maybe 5 minutes most, and it's because of their life-saving response that their classmate, Amaya, is here with us today. Would Victor Ortega, Stephen Lara, Maria Lara, Dr. Younger, Dr. Pearley, Lydia Moak, Jenny Gillette, Bailey Garner, and Kelly Wood all please come forward, as well as Amaya Fisher, if she's with us here tonight. Pretty incredible story. Come on up here. These are lifesavers, no doubt about that, and we wanted to acknowledge them for their heroic efforts with our Award of Excellence. Amaya's mom said she especially wanted to make sure that the students and the staff were recognized because they saved her daughter's life, and that is very powerful. So thank you for what you did and for springing into action and knowing what to do and for having the forethought to call Miss Gillette and for watching that YouTube video and knowing how to check somebody's pulse and their breathing, because a lot of people would have frozen and not known what to do. So awesome job to all. Way to go, Eagles. We love happy endings like that and to be able to tell you about those. You know, today we saw another example of ensuring our students' safety when a bomb threat was called in to Benton High School. The response was immediate. Little did anyone know at the time that schools in Caddo and DeSoto parishes also received that phone call, as well as other districts in Georgia and around the United States. All that school administration knew at the time was they had to act fast and they had to get their students out of the building ASAP. The response was nothing short of incredible. As our Assistant Superintendent Jason Rowland was recounting a little bit earlier, our school resource officers there immediately, obviously. Then minutes later, additional Bossier Parish Sheriff's deputies were on the scene. The bomb squad arrived. Benton and Bossier City Fire Department and police departments. State police were there. The FBI came and a SWAT team. It was quite the scene today at Benton High School. But they worked quickly to sweep every inch of Benton High School and to assess any potential threat before giving the all clear and for our students to be able to go back inside and resume their day. It just serves as an excellent reminder of how well our local agencies work together with Bossier schools. Our SROs train regularly with the other law enforcement agencies and first responders to ensure that if there was ever a situation, thankfully today was just a threat, but that partnership was on full display to show that they are prepared to always keep our students safe. So we just want to say to those of you who serve and protect our children, and all of us each and every day at Bossier schools, that we humbly say thank you. Our Director of Security, Adam Johnson, is now 50 Shades of Red over there. I didn't know we were going to do that. But we do appreciate you and all of our SROs and everyone in law enforcement and our first responders. Finally, this evening, we shine the light on our last Gold Star recipient of the 2021-22 school year. As I mentioned in the beginning, we are wrapping up this school year. We are in the home stretch. And Sharon Hollins loves the littles, and she has built her life around them. Though she began as a language therapist, her love for the children where she served led her to the Alternative Teacher Certification Program in early childhood education. And let me just say that we are so glad for that. Hollins is now the lead kindergarten teacher at Meadowview Elementary, where her devotion to her little ones is unparalleled. And the positive attitude that she projects every day is contagious. Paraprofessional Melissa Bletz said, not only does this woman look like she stepped out of a Vogue magazine every day, and remember, she's crawling around on the floor with the littles, she is always smiling, and she doesn't leave her class and enrichment without making sure first that her kids are sitting where they should. When she walks away, you can tell those littles know what's expected of them. She is always so full of energy and light. Any child or adult that is lucky enough to be around her will learn from her, and they will walk away a better person. Instructional coach Leslie Alexander added that Ms. Hollins has been a driving force in our kindergarten team. She has taken a new team of teachers and molded them into a strong and successful team. Her leadership has fostered a collaborative team who works to push our students to new heights. You'll never hear Ms. Hollins complain or say that anything cannot be done. Ms. Hollins readily admits that at first it was a bit nerve-wracking to lead a team with no experience teaching kindergarten, but she persevered with support and encouragement. And now her team's confidence has soared, and she says they have readers and writers in kindergarten. She said, I'm proud of us. And she added, I have extreme gratitude for my Meadowview family for nominating me for the Gold Star Award, and love and hugs for Kimmy Smith and her team for guiding me in the right direction this year, and Dr. B for always time she walked into our class. I have learned a lot, and I can't wait to pay it forward next year. Would you please join me in congratulating our shining Gold Star winner, Ms. Sharon Hollins. Emma Eckendall from Bossier Federal Credit Union come forward. They sponsor our Gold Star Award. She has a presentation for you.
We continue to look forward every single month to the opportunity to read these fantastic nominations about amazing teachers and staff just like Ms. Hollins. And this final Gold Star of 2021-2022 is no different. We are so grateful for all that you do. And on behalf of Bossier Federal Credit Union, congratulations on being our April 2022 Gold Star Award winner.
Yes, you not only need your box, but you also need your Award of Excellence from Bossier Schools. I want to read what's on the back of it because it symbolizes passion, perseverance, and pride. And let me just tell you that Ms. Hollins embodies all three of those principles. So congratulations. We are so glad that you chose early childhood education and you came to Bossier Schools.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You probably saw it at the beginning before we started the school board meeting, but early voting is underway now until Saturday for the three propositions that Bossier Schools has on the ballot for April 30th. These are renewals, they are not new taxes, and they pay for the salaries and the benefits already being earned by our teachers and support personnel. It is not a pay raise, it is to maintain what is already in place. You can vote between 8:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. From now until Saturday at the Bossier Parish Courthouse in Benton and also at the Bossier Parish Library History Center located on Beckett Street in Bossier City. These three propositions affect every student, every school, and every teacher in Bossier Parish. So we just ask you to please go vote. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Bales. Ms. Hollis, I have to ask, the artwork on your shirt from these pictures, did one of your students create that, the little girl jumping rope? Oh, awesome, okay. Well, I loved it. Congratulations again. Well, I guess we'll let everybody who doesn't want to stick around for the business meeting exit. EP3, I'm expecting 4 from you, son, okay? 4 of them. All right. All right. Item 3.01, update BPSB and Ag programs, presented by Jeff Holcomb, CTEI Supervisor, and Amy Washington, BPSB Principal.
Evening, President Bass, Superintendent Downey, and members of the board. It seems like it was just yesterday that we came before you requesting your approval of the Ag job description, but it has been about 4 or 5 months since then. So we really want to come back before you, give you an update on where we're at now and what we have planned for the near future with a partnership with Cypress Black Bayou. So to kind of give you a heads up of where we're at now, we've started off with some animal husbandry, really looking at a lot of poultry here. We've got broilers and layers. So those of you that aren't real familiar with the chicken nomenclature, the broiler are the ones that you eat, hence the broiling part, I guess. And then the layers, obviously a little bit more clear, they lay the eggs. We got 40 broilers start off as little chicks, they grew, and then we actually harvested them right before spring break. So that was a nice experience for the kids. And it really is a great opportunity for them to see where food comes from, that it doesn't come from the frozen section at Kroger. It really has to come from somewhere before then. And they also have the layers that harvest the eggs every single day. If you look at this, we do collect the eggs, and we were going to bring some eggs today. I had some jokes about eggs and chickens cross the road, but my wife advised me before I came up here not to do any of those. So I would draw your attention to the package, though. If you look at the egg package, one of the really great things about this program is how it crosses all the curriculums, all the programs that we have there. And if you look at that one, that package, that label on that package was actually designed by one of our departments at there. It was the graphic arts department actually did that. And it's not just the graphic arts. You look at this, we have some welding department built stands. The carpentry department built boxes. The electrical department is going to build a solar electrical system for our boiler house. So it really is cross-curricular. All the kids are working together towards one goal. And of course, the one that's super obvious is the culinary department. They're the ones who, we've had several events there where we've cooked the eggs that were homegrown with this. So it is a true farm-to-table experience for them. And then the cuniculture, which is dealing with the growing and harvesting of rabbits. Obviously, you see we put that below the farm-to-table part because while we're still going to teach them how to do this, a little more difficult to do that to a rabbit than it is a chicken. So we are going to train them how to do it. We're probably not going to go that far with them. So that was dealing with some animal science, but we're also looking at some plant science. So we're doing some horticulture there as well. So the kids are actually taking the seeds, growing them, and then taking them further into these boxes and growing them with that. They're starting off with the seeds. In this case, we're growing broccoli, watermelon, squash. They're even growing some herbs such as rosemary, basil. So they've got all kinds of different things with that. So we are doing some plant sciences. We're doing some animal sciences. And if you go to the next one, you'll see we're not just sticking with the traditional here. We're also looking at some little things that are off the beaten path. We are doing some hydroponics and some aquaponics. So if you think about hydroponics, that is actually growing plants without soil. So we're using the water with that. And then the aquaponics is similar to the hydroponics, but we're using the water from the fish. So the fish are in that bottom tub that you see there, and we actually use that nutrient-rich water to feed the plants. And it's a nice sustainable cycle that goes with that. And I'll tell you, that is quite the chemistry class too. They are dealing with nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, bacteria. So it's really a great all-around experience for them with that as well. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where they're working on right now. But we also want to kind of give you an idea of where we're heading with this in terms of the expansion of this. And as we were thinking about our next steps, where we wanted to go with this, we really thought, how can we leverage that partnership that we already have with Cypress Park? And as you guys are, I'm sure, all aware that we've had a program at the Nature Center for decades, right? But with the advent of COVID, that kind of shut down. And as we were looking to reboot this, we wanted to say, how can we stay true to that original mission, which is giving students an opportunity to experience the natural world? How can we stay true to that and still build upon it? And that's kind of where we came up with. We've been working with the Nature Center, Mr. Downey, Dr. Bourgeois, and Mr. Bates to work out an overall plan to do this. So right here, we'll kind of go over these little bullet points. This is the idea of what we're looking at and how the ag program fits into the Nature Center. And then after this, we got several slides that shows you the assets that they have out there and then how we will utilize those. So if you look at this, the first thing we're going to do is jump on the bandwagon right off the bat. This summer, we're going to do our summer ag program out there. So we just started the ag program in January, but we were going to do a summer program, bring the kids in, get them a Carnegie unit in agriculture. And we're actually going to do that whole program at the Nature Center this summer. The other idea with this, or the model we want to use, is similar to what you think about when you think about a lab in a science school. So, they don't put labs attached to every classroom. They generally have the lab and they have the classrooms, and then when the students need to use the lab, they go to it. We're treating the Nature Center much like that. So the students are actually going to do the traditional BPSB route, where they go to their home school, get on a bus, go to BPSB, and then if they need to stay there, some days they'll stay and they'll do work. Like we just showed you, they were planting those the seeds in the trays. They may do that one day, and then the next day they'll they'll do the same idea. They'll go to their home school, take the BPSB bus to BPSB, but instead of staying there, we'll have a bus at BPSB Our teachers are going to have a CDL. They'll get on the bus, shoot straight up to the Nature Center, and they'll do work up there. So it's really going to be the best of both worlds, where they'll be able to work at BPSL in the classroom setting and also up in the at the Nature Center. The other part of this, again, staying true to the original mission of the Nature Center, which was how do we get kids to experience that natural world? And there's nature trails up there, there's fish, there's turkeys, deer, there's all kinds of things for them to go up there and experience. And the model that we want to use with this is, because we're going to have students that are up there, we're going to have the students lead the other field trips that come on. So now if a field trip from, say, Waller, or somewhere wants to come up there, we'll have student-led activities for them. So we're going to have students that are in second year of ag, so they're experienced with this, they'll know what's up there, they'll be able to speak to it intelligently and work with those kids. So it'll be students leading students with this. Going to hit all those elementary kids, going to be the 4-H kids. So it's still going to stay true to that original mission of it. We're just going to be able to take it to the next level. And then another great opportunity with this is when you think about a student that's in Ag for Ag 3, maybe Ag 4, and they've gone through the basics, and then they want to go to more advanced ideas. This also affords them that opportunity. So if they want to maybe do some hybridized corn, or they want to have a steer, there's all kinds of opportunities up there for that. So we can develop specific programs for them there as well. So now if we go on and kind of look at some of the assets that are out there, we can work on some aquaculture. So there's a myriad of fish tanks up there in the Nature Center right now. So we're going to work with those. We're going to start off with little fish, grow them up a little bit. This pond, there's another little pond that we can use and get them a little bit bigger. And obviously working with the board up there, there's a great opportunity for sustainability here to actually start stocking the lake up there as well. We're not going to put the flying carp or anything there, but obviously with their approval to putting the right ones in, we'll do that one. So a great opportunity for aquaculture. And then another great asset is they got a full-size barn that we can use. It's got 10 to 12 stalls in there. It's going to give us an opportunity to start using those bigger animals. At BPSL, we're kind of limited to the rabbit. We're limited to the chickens. But now we'll be able to look and say, hey, we can do some pigs. We can do some goats. Maybe even get some bigger animals, maybe a steer or something like that. So this facility gives a great opportunity to do that. And another thing you'll notice here, they got concrete floors. So these kids need to do shows as part of the FAA program. So they have to do the shows, and it turns out you need this concrete floor. I didn't know this, but a pig will get stained if they water in the mud too much. So they need this in order to compete in these shows. And then obviously there's other enclosures that are going to be available to them. We can expand the poultry program, maybe look at some other fowl opportunities for them as well. And the greenhouses, they have 2 nice-sized greenhouses that we'll be able to utilize. Again, it's back to that idea. We'll be able to get them started at BPSL, bring them up there, work with them, get the plants to grow a little bit larger, and then move them into the boxes or into a full-size garden. Also gives the students in January and February an opportunity to start working with some plant science as well. And then, of course, there's a lot of additional acreage out there that we'll be able to use. So we may be able to build a pen, get a steer, start working with even larger animals as well. And there's also a vision here for making a full-size garden. They'll be able to do squash and peas and watermelon, all kinds of things, and really grow it out big. So this is kind of where we're at. We're really, really excited about this partnership with Cypress Black Bayou and the Nature Center, and really where this is going to be able to take us and take this to the next level. Any questions? Comments?
We've had a chance, or I have, to sample the broilers and the eggs, and I can tell you, farm to table, what they're doing in the kitchen over there is amazing. So, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Item 3.02, request approval of investment advisor agreement presented by Nisha Bamberg, Chief Financial Officer. Ms. Bamberg?
Good evening. How are y'all today? I'm excited to come before y'all tonight and request y'all's approval. We have been looking at investment advisors, and tonight it is my pleasure to recommend to the board that we move forward with a relationship with Citizens National Bank for the investment of our beef funds. I've attached a copy of the letter and the proposal that they've provided. They're actually coming in at a rate cheaper than we have been paying, so that would be a savings on the cost there. And I'm very confident in their ability and the services that they are offering. And so that is my recommendation to the board tonight. We have Mr. Chris Wilcox and Mr. Jason Smith here if y'all have any questions for them, or I'll entertain any questions y'all might have for me.
Mr. Newman.
Thank you, Mr. President. As chairman of the Finance Committee, we decided that we would just bypass the committee and bring this straight to the board. I have talked to Mr. Wilcox at length, Ms. Bamberg, Mr. Bass, so this is something we just wanted to bring straight to the board. It is a very low to no risk option here, and it will hopefully garner us some additional revenues from our beef funds, and that is all that will be impacted here is our beef funds, for those that are wondering. So just answering any preconceived questions that wanted to come up why this didn't go to committee first, but we just wanted to bypass committee and bring it straight to the board for something like this. So, and like I said, I've talked to Mr. Wilcox at length and fully support this. So.
Okay. Mr. Bullard, then Mr. Wiggins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am overjoyed that we received this bid, successful bid from a local financial institution. I know we were presented with proposals from investment companies far and wide, some of which were less than attractive, some were good enough to get our attention. But I'm very pleased that, and I think I'm not the only one that feels that way. I think we all are happy that we can maintain these funds here locally and at the same time enhance the returns, because we're now, the beef fund has reached a point that the annual returns, the interest, what have you, it is very significant. It can now drive, even with the restrictions, it can drive some very important programs that up until a few years ago, there just was not sufficient funds, but now we're reaching that point. So thank you for your efforts and for keeping it local.
I'm very excited. I was excited about the meeting with Citizens, and like I said, they provided a very strong offer. I'm very confident in their ability for this. So,
Mr. Wiggins, you had a comment, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. I was privileged to be on the board when we first began to interact with citizens before Mr. Smith was the titular head. It's always been a great experience, a wonderful experience, and I'm just so proud that we're still doing the same thing. Continue on. I'm with it 100%.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Make a motion that we accept,
This proposal.
move forward.
Okay. Got a motion by Mr. Newman, a second by Mr. Wiggins. Please cast your vote. Item passes unanimously. Thank you so much, Ms. Bamberg. 3.03, LDOE Reimagine School System Grant, presented by Dr. Nicole Bourgeois, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Academic Affairs, and Ms. Christy Bucker, Curriculum Coordinator of PD and Grants. Dr. Bourgeois?
Thank you. Superintendent Downey, President Bass, and board members, I'm pleased to come here this evening to share with those of you who kind of knew about the Reimagine Grant and those who did not, that this was an opportunity that was presented to all districts in the state of Louisiana in the fall of 2021. The curriculum department, as well as Ms. Bucker, who co-authored the grant, we were awarded $810,000 for what we are calling Project Gains and Advancement in Performance, or GAP. And since I have a co-author, I'm going to have a co-presenter. So I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Bucker. Short and sweet.
Superintendent Downey, President Bass, esteemed board members, thank you for this opportunity. This will be brief. I gave you a copy of this. And Mr. Thompson, if you want to go ahead. So Louisiana Department of Education sponsored this grant. Like Dr. Bourgeois said, it's called, the name for the state, the state gave it is Reimagine School Systems, and Bossier was chosen. And we chose to add this to our summer learning. So the districts could choose from a variety of actions, and we chose extended learning time, which is basically our summer learning program, because that allowed us to write for more money that would help us enhance that summer learning program. And Mr. Thompson, if you can go forward. As you can see that we have expanded from last summer in several ways. We have added one more elementary site for logistics, and now our middle school has moved from virtual to face-to-face, so now we will have these at our, instead of doing virtual for middle school, we're going to be doing face-to-face. Next slide. This summer is phase 1, which is also considered pilot implementation. So we will work diligently this summer and make changes for next year. We have we know that we're going to move on to phase 2 because we're Bossier Parish Schools and we're excellent. And so we'll just move on forward to the next slide. These are some of our deliverables that we will need for the grant. We already do these things, so this is nothing extra. We did create an advisory committee, and on the next page you will see in our advisory committee, each one of these people represent leadership from our district, our schools, as well as our external stakeholders. And so we will be meeting actually April 28th at 8:30, and then we'll meet a couple more times, 5 times over the course of phase 1. And this is just to get feedback and stuff so that our grant can just move right along, and we'll go to phase 2. Any questions?
Question. We've talked about lost learning. Can you kind of tell us the impact that some of this will have on that, please?
Well, this is adding extra minutes. I figured it up. It's like 15% more than what we're doing right now. And so this is going to add extra minutes for our students. So hopefully that will help close that gap, hence the name, so that we can get on to moving forward in the fall.
So much. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Mr. Buller?
Ladies, Dr. Bourgeois, I guess, is the person I would direct this question to. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you come to us with this idea some time ago, and Bossier was selected as one of the test sites, so to speak, and you encouraged us to participate, that it would bring dividends to our students. And not only were we successful, but it would appear you're being recognized, you and your colleagues are being recognized for your efforts and success.
Thank you, Mr. Bullard. What we came forward to the board with was to participate in the Strong School System Initiative. And out of that initiative and out of our work, which we've been doing for about a year now, we identified 4 priorities, strategic priorities, and this particular grant, this one right here, satisfies 3 of those strategic priorities. And I do believe, actually I know, that we were selected because we were a year ahead of many other districts in our strategic planning. So we were recognized by the State Department for our work we've done already. I appreciate you recalling that.
And I appreciate the fact this is much easier to comprehend. What you presented us with the first time was extremely complicated, and you made me go home and read and reread quite a bit of that material. But congratulations to you, your colleagues. I see several are here tonight for your excellent efforts and results, because that's what's prompting and driving this new grant, I'm sure.
Thank you, Mr. Bullard.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Item 3.04, request declaration of surplus presented by Carrie Douglas, Chief Procurement Officer. Ms. Douglas?
Thank you, and good evening, President Bass, Superintendent Downey, and members of the board. My first item is just to have the items listed in the memo dated March 23rd declared as surplus.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bullard, second by Ms. Darby. Please cast your votes. I'm sorry, Mr. Newman, you have a question before we...
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was trying to get your attention. I noticed there was 3D printers on there, so it's been determined that all this stuff is salvageable, we can't repurpose it or anything. And I didn't notice it until just now when I was looking that the 3D printers were actually still on there.
The 3D printers are probably past their software life. There's no support any longer for those, or, you know, there's something newer and greater. We do put these out for sale and let other schools know we have them. So if they do find that they are useful, they will ask for us to transfer them to their location. But if there is any life in them, we will put them up for auction.
In a second, and I think we had cast a vote. Did you vote, Mr. Newman?
I did.
Okay.
I voted to approve.
All right.
That was just information only.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Douglas. And that item passed unanimously out of our vote. Item 3.0, permission to issue solicitations 2022 to 2023. Fiscal agent presented by Carrie Douglas, Chief Procurement Officer.
This is just our routine annual request to issue a solicitation to receive proposals for our fiscal agent for the 22-23 school year.
Any questions? Okay.
No comment.
Yes, sir.
As in, when we purchase, keep in mind local. Our initiation with Citizens Bank began as a local initiative. So think local all the time.
Will do so.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion. Second. Motion by Mr. Bamberg, second by Mr. Bertrand. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Item 3.07, request approval of solicitation award 22-56 bus washing system presented by Carrie Douglas.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Permission, 3.06, permission to issue solicitations 2022 to 2023, legal journal presented by Carrie Douglas.
This is also just an annual routine solicitation where we ask for proposals to be sent to us for our legal journal for the year. The legal journal that we use does have to be in the parish, and there is really only one journal that we have in this parish that can respond. Bossier Press Tribune, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Newman. Second by Mr. Dean. Please cast your vote. This is now item 3.07, request approval 22-56 bus washing system presented by Ms. Douglas.
So we issued a solicitation for this bus washing system for the Transportation Department. We received 2 proposals. I met with Colonel Haddon and some members of his staff, and we reviewed each proposal over 2-3 weeks. And after we reviewed everything and picked them both apart, we scored each one. And Bidimek International came in with the highest total point of 88, so we're recommending award to them.
Mr. Bullard, you had a comment?
They just remedied it. Could you give us a moment to look at the proposal that's presented here? In the initial notification I received for our agenda, this was not attached. I don't know if it may be my...
It wasn't that, I didn't receive it either.
And I would just like, we've had a discussion, but I wanted to review it. Thank you. Your recommendation.
Any other questions or comments? Motion by Mr. Newman to approve Ms. Douglas's recommendation. Second by Mr. Bamberg. Please cast your vote.
Could I ask a question?
Yes, sir, you can.
Please forgive me, but I didn't have access to it, so things are popping in my mind. Colonel Haddon, this is your recommendation, and you believe this will best serve your needs.
Yes, sir. So it's a portable machine. It's got a brush that turns about 10 feet tall, and you push it around the brush.
Pardon me, this is the one you described in your presentation to transportation a couple of weeks ago. Right. Thank you. Pardon my interruption, Mr. President.
Okay. Thank you, Colonel Haddon. Thank you, Mr. Bullard. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Douglas, very much. A request, approval of trip request.
These are in order.
All right. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Slack. Second by Mr. Newman. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Item 3.08, request approval of trip, 4.01, announcements and superintendent comments.
Thank you, President Bass. Operation Clean Sweep is this Saturday. It's a partnership with the Bossier Sheriff's Office, Bossier Schools, several other governmental entities, which include the City of Bossier, Halton, Benton, several other organizations. Begins at 8:30, goes until 11:30. You can sign up at keepbossierbeautiful.com. There's also a crawfish boil at the Sheriff's Substation on Viking Drive beginning at 11:30. Anything you would like to add, Ms. Bales?
Want to drop off any items like washers and be accepting those in the Airline High School parking lot?
Also accepting tires, correct? Okay.
The annual memorial service is May 2nd, 6 p.m. at Airline High School in the auditorium. The next regular session of the Bossier Parish School Board is May 5th at 6 p.m. here at the BIC. That concludes my announcements.
Okay, thank you very much. One more announcement. Just want to remind everybody about what Ms. Bell said again. Early voting for the three bond renewals will be available until Saturday, and then voting day will be April the 30th. So just a quick reminder. All right, that brings us to item 5.01, adjournment of the regular session of the board. Motion by Mr. Slack, second by Mr. Bullard. Please cast your vote.